Hello, good evening, parents, good evening, friends and families, and happy Sunday to you. My name is Susan Ebosiam, and a week ago I started a talk about autism, science to look out for in autism, what autism is about, and the last video I said I was going to talk about other I wouldn't want to call it other things that also come with autism, may or may not come with autism, that parents should kind of look out for. So when you've gone for the assessment and there are other things that specialists or professionals would want to look out for in the child to be sure if it's just autism the child has, or if the child has some other things with autism. I wouldn't want to use the word illness or some other conditions, that's the right word to use. So some other conditions that may also come with autism are as follows. We have the OCD, and that's the obsessive compulsive disorder. A lot of us may know what OCD is, and what you need to look out for in OCD is when a child living with autism overreacts when there is a little spill of water on the table, on the clothes, like if he sees a little thread that you cannot see, and then he or she wants to just dust the thread out from his clothes. They have this particular feel of clothes that they want to wear. Everything has to be extremely neat to a fault, and where they see that it's not neat the way they want it, they now kind of react in crying because they cannot express themselves. So everything has to be just as they want it. They want their bags to be put in one exact spot. They want their plates and spoons to be put in a certain way. They want their food to be just dished in a certain way. When you give them water to drink, the cup has to be extremely neat. There must be no spot of water somewhere in the part of the cup. Just like extreme cleanliness. And you can also check what other things for OCD. And then we have some other neurological conditions like epilepsy, and because epilepsy also is a condition of the brain, and autism also, it's like a disorder of the brain, the person may have autism and also have epilepsy. Another thing we need to look out for is ADHD, and that is the attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Well, how do you know a child has ADHD? The child will be extremely hyperactive, like the child cannot just sit down. The child is always on his toes, running back and forth. Like the child cannot just sit down for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, the child cannot sit down. The child has difficulty in concentrating. The child cannot concentrate, especially to school activities, little activities, play activities. The child can't concentrate. Impulsive behavior, always being fidgety and restless, and the child cannot focus at a task at a certain time. That's how you know that possibly the child has ADHD. Another thing is the learning disability. So especially for those that are on the severe level of autism, because most of the time, a lot of them, let's say 80 or 70% of them are non-verbal and are on the severe level of autism. They may have a challenge with um, learning. That's where the learning disability is coming from, because they cannot they have a challenge learning, understanding, just as a neurotypical child, and then for them they would need much more attention, one-on-one attention, one-on-one teaching, extra attention to help them in learning. Okay, so those are the other things that the child will be assessed for as far as autism, to be sure that the child has only autism and doesn't have any of all these other conditions. So as parents and carers and guardians, when you have done all of these assessments, and I've said, come together as a team to look for the way forward to help your child and be with your child, and you start doing all of the therapies, because truly therapy is like 100% focus that should be given to the child. A child with autism needs therapy. They need therapy at every point to help them. They really need that therapy, because the therapy is a guide. The therapy is a guide to help them. So as from the age of 2, when you have gotten your assessment and found out that the child has autism, it's important that parents now start from the home front to help the child live a normal life. And when I mean help the child, is you're building your child's life skills, teaching your child the littlest thing from the minute basic. You have to teach your child how to, look at you in the eye, build a child eye contact, how to relate to other people. Start with the family units first, because autism, they're all about themselves, me, myself, and I. Even when they are talking, especially those that are talking, they only talk about themselves. They don't know what it is to understand feelings of others. They have no idea how to understand feeling of others. They don't know. A lot of them actually don't know how to express themselves, or express how they feel, or express what their wants and needs. So it's something that you probably have to figure out what that child or what the adult needs at the time, because they don't know how to express their feelings. A lot of them don't like touch, they don't like hugs, they don't like personal touch, you can't touch them and all of that, and then you really have to build all of that. A lot of them don't like loud noises, they freak out with loud noises, and that's where you see that they wear the noise blockers and all of that. But what I know is, whatever you teach your child, the child gets to grow with it and gets to understand it, especially for noise blockers. They love music. They are lovers of music. So it's important that you introduce them to music at a very, very early age, and gradually, introduce them to noise. A lot of them don't like crowd at all. They cannot do well in a crowd. So it's important that you take them on walks, take them to parks, take them to playgrounds, let them mix and get used to crowd, because where you have a challenge where the child doesn't like crowd at all. So you need to incorporate all of these little things into the life of the child. Okay, so in my next video, I'm going to be talking about challenging behaviors, because I think I did mention challenging behaviors. So aside learning disabilities, they also have challenging behaviors. So I would list out some certain challenging behaviors that you would notice, and what we can do to help the child, gets like reduce the challenging behavior. So what you need to learn, what triggers these behaviors, and then how to control it and how to prevent it. Thank you very much for all of the attention. Thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for all of your shares. And thank you for all of your views, because I actually also upload this video on YouTube. And I'll really appreciate it if you share to people who actually need these videos, and also comment, give your ideas, give your knowledge, and ask questions, and then we all grow together. Thank you so much. Have a lovely week ahead. Bye.